In the shadows of history lurk some of the most chilling figures known to humanity: serial killers. These individuals, driven by a dark compulsion, have taken the lives of countless victims, often leaving a trail of fear and fascination in their wake. Take Jack the Ripper, whose gruesome murders in Victorian London remain unsolved, or Ted Bundy, whose charm masked a horrifying reality as he lured women to their deaths. Then there's Aileen Wuornos, a woman whose tragic life spiraled into a killing spree that shocked the nation. Each of these killers not only took lives, but also captured the public's imagination, becoming infamous for their heinous acts. Their stories remind us of the thin line between humanity and monstrosity, a line that some have crossed with chilling ease. They call him Jack the Ripper, but who was he really? In 1888, the streets of Whitechapel became the hunting ground for a killer who struck fear into the hearts of Londoners. 5 women, all prostitutes, fell victim to his brutal hands, their bodies left mutilated in a gruesome display. The police believed he had surgical skills, perhaps a butcher or a doctor, someone who knew how to wield a scalpel with precision. What's chilling is that he taunted the authorities, sending letters that detailed his horrific acts, mocking their inability to catch him. Over the years, countless suspects have emerged, but the true identity of Jack the Ripper remains a haunting mystery, a ghost that still lingers in the shadows of history. Let's look at the chilling world of Harold Shipman, infamously known as Dr. Death. This man, a trusted physician in Greater Manchester, is believed to have murdered around 250 patients between 1972 and 1998. Most of his victims were elderly women, found dead in their beds during the day, raising suspicions that went ignored for far too long. It wasn't until an undertaker noticed the alarming number of cremation certificates linked to Shipman that the alarm bells finally rang. Despite the red flags, police mishandled the investigation, allowing him to continue his deadly spree. His greed ultimately led to his downfall when he attempted to forge a will for one of his victims, naming himself as the beneficiary. This raised suspicions in the victim's daughter, prompting a deeper investigation. In 2000, Shipman was convicted, but the story didn't end there. He took his own life in prison in 2004, leaving behind a legacy of horror and a haunting reminder of how trust can be so easily betrayed. John Wayne Gacy was just a regular guy, a construction worker, known for his friendly demeanor and his knack for politics. He even entertained kids as a clown at birthday parties, but beneath that facade lurked a darkness that would shock the world. In 1978, a 15-year-old boy vanished after being seen with him, and that was just the beginning. Families of other missing boys had raised alarms before, but this time, the authorities finally listened. When they searched his home, they uncovered a nightmare: nearly 30 bodies buried in a crawl space, a chilling testament to his horrific actions. He was convicted of 33 murders, along with charges of rape and torture. In 1994, he faced justice through lethal injection, but the echoes of his crimes still haunt the lives he shattered. Pedro Lopez, known as the Monster of the Andes, is one of history's most chilling figures. Linked to over 300 murders across Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, his reign of terror primarily targeted vulnerable tribal women. After his arrest in 1980, authorities unearthed the graves of more than 50 young victims. Convicted of 110 murders in Ecuador, he confessed to an additional 240 in Colombia and Peru. Shockingly, he was released in 1998 for good behavior after serving less than 20 years. Now, more than 2 decades later, his fate remains a haunting mystery. Is he still out there, lurking in the shadows? The fear he instilled continues to resonate, leaving us to wonder about the true extent of his horrors. Ted Bundy thrived on the attention his horrific acts brought him, and the media was all too eager to oblige. His hunting grounds stretched across the western U.S., where he preyed on college-age women, leaving a trail of terror from Washington to Colorado. After a brief stint in custody for kidnapping in Colorado, he escaped, only to unleash more violence in Florida. His final arrest turned into a national spectacle. He represented himself in what became America's first televised murder trial, relishing the spotlight. He welcomed interviews, flaunted his fan base, and reveled in the chaos he created. Ultimately, in 1989, the electric chair silenced him, but the fascination with his twisted legacy endures. These are the stories of the heartless killers who took the lives of innocent victims without a purpose. Are there others like these? Time will tell as we keep our fingers crossed. Please, we need your comment, and if you like more, subscribe and thumb up to encourage us.